60% through it. Yeah, it looks like we're about 60% through the print. We got about 2 hours left on it. And it's coming along nicely. I'm actually, I was a little bit like, I had a bad experience with supports my first day. And I was a little bit concerned about the supports on this, but they don't look that bad. They actually look a lot easier to manage than what I had to deal with before. Bow, bow, bow. Is there a reuse? Yeah, you can recycle filament. People have like methods of recycling filament. I'm not talking about like recycle like plastic. I'm talking about like reuse the filament. Because it's biodegradable. So you don't have to, PLA is biodegradable. You don't have to put it in a recycling bin. But there's recycled PLA out there that people are reusing. I have a 3D printer and we made that before. We made it into a keychain. Oh, this Hulk? Nice. How do you remove the supports? With various tools. They're made to be removed, so they're not like solid. So I have like tweezers and I have like little knickknacks and tools that I have to help pull them off and yank them off. It's something I'm still learning how to do effectively. And my tools, I'll admit my tools probably are not the best. Yeah, PLA is one of the more, I think it's one of the more safer filaments for printing indoors. I was told that by many people. I still don't print it. I print it in a different room from in here, and I have it in a ventilated room, but it's not as bad as say resin. Resin I'd have to print in an enclosure, probably in a much more controlled environment than the PLA. Polyterra PLA is a different and new type of PLA, and it degrades up to 100% in a compost environment within 100 days. Oh, okay. Do you have any YouTube channels that give info about the printer? I'm kind of new to the 3D printer. Loyal Moses. Follow him on Twitter. He knows a lot. Let me see if I can... 3D printing nerd. That's what I was about to search for. Yeah, 3D printing nerd. And Joel Telling. There you go. So here you go. 3D printing nerd. First link, and Joel Telling. I probably should subscribe to these guys myself. Same guy. 3D printing nerd. Joel Telling. There you go. I didn't know his name. Yeah, let me subscribe to him. Oh my goodness, Smooth McGroove did a new song. What year is it? Hopefully, I'll be in that conversation in a few years. Yeah, follow that Buona guy. He knows his stuff. By then, I'll be 1/20th of Loyal Moses and 1/50th of 3D printing nerd. But I'm hoping to be a part of that conversation soon. I don't plan on stopping doing this anytime soon. There's so much to learn. It's so great, so great. And it also, oh, look at this. I'm looking at this not necessarily for, I'm waiting for it to load. I'm looking at this not necessarily for the actual print, but for the tools next to it. Yeah, these are the type of tools that you use. I have this clipper thing. There's a name for it. I always call them pliers, and people are like, no, they're not pliers. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to talk about them anymore then. I have these to pull off the supports. And I also have like little dentist tools and tweezers to pull stuff off. It's pretty cool. My dad used to call them wire cutters. Even though they weren't technically wire cutters, but they looked like them. And I knew what he was talking about when he asked for them. That's the important part. Bling, bong, bong, bong. Oh man, I see people like putting car parts up here and stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's a nice Pac-Man. I wish they would rotate it instead of me having to turn my head. That's a nice Pac-Man right there. I really wish it would be rotated. Hulk hands are looking good. They are. They are. You can clearly see the fists now. And you can see his abs of death. Shear pliers. Good call. I think that's what I was corrected to say. Keycaps. That's another thing I want to print. I just got a new keyboard. I got a K100 from Corsair, my sponsor. This came in today, actually. And they also came out with another keyboard today. Let me show you guys this. This is a hashtag ad moment. One of my sponsors, Corsair. They sent me this K100 RGB. So I can print clear keycaps. So if I wanted to, I could replace a lot of these keycaps with a head, some sort of a funny object, or I don't know, what have you. And yeah, that's it. GG. Hashtag ad. Exclamation point Corsair. Use code BORN to save 10%. GG's. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to print keycaps. I saw these Pac-Man keycaps on here, and it made me think about it. It made me think about it. So he's got like Pac-Man keycaps for like the F rows on his keyboard. The home key needs to be a house. See how he has like Pac-Man eating pellets, and then the ghosts are running. You have the K100. Did you get the OPX switches or whatever they're called? Or did you go with Cherry Red? I went with the new switches because I want to try them out. You went with Cherry? Okay. Is it loud or are they quiet? Are they quiet? Because I asked my rep at Corsair the same question, and he said that they're roughly. He said the Cherries are a little bit softer than the OPX ones. A little bit softer. He said the OPXs are a little bit louder. I was hoping they were softer, honestly. All right, guys. I have to use the restroom, so I'll be back in about 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click that follow button if you're enjoying yourself. Follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/Bwana. You can join our Discord at discord.gg/Bwana. If you're enjoying the content, click the follow button, ring the bell for updates. We're going to be 3D printing quite a bit here. Even when I'm playing video games like Elite Dangerous or Microsoft Flight Sim or Final Fantasy 14 or whatever, there's probably going to be something over here printing. Probably. I'll see you guys in like 5, all right? Thanks for being awesome. All right, I'm back. Thanks for waiting, guys. Sweet. The flashing red light throws you off. Oh, the characters on screen, that's like it's a new, not new, but it's a thing called stream avatars, so everybody can have like their little character that just walks back and forth on the screen. Locke, thanks for the prime. Chat, show some love. Appreciate it, man. 6 months. Dude, you're still awake. I would say I'm awake. You know, but I wouldn't say, you know, it's you know, multiple definitions of awake, you know, that's, you know, it's varying, you know, spectrums of awakeness. Oh man. Watching plastic dry. Good times in Nerd Town. Oh yeah. It's true. That's essentially what we're doing. We are watching plastic dry. The pinnacle. I can't believe it. How long have I been up here, man? I don't think I've ever streamed this long in a short amount of time. Holy moly. I'm hoping these supports come off nicely. Otherwise, I might put it off until tomorrow. Like, all right, chat. That's all you're getting today. Oh, man. I need to download the Superman bus too, because I think I might do that one as well. So download that. Oh, I've already downloaded it. Never mind. For those of you who want the thing file for this, here it is in chat. This is the exact file I used. So, so what are we printing tonight after this thing is done? We're printing a pillow and a springboard for my bed so that I can do a triple Lindy split somersault half pike into bed. Deadpool bust. So I went with the Creality CR10 Mini for my first go to printer. Nice! Couldn't quite swing the extra $100 right now, and I get it in 3 days instead of 2 months. Yep. Welcome, dude. Chat, let's welcome Locke Nar to 3D printing. One of us. One of us. One of us. We have another one. Can't wait to get it going, dude. It's you only gotta wait 3 days, so I'm a little bit envious of that. I had to wait a month. Actually, I had to wait like 5 or 6 weeks. So I'm a little bit envious that you get yours a little bit sooner than I did, but I'm glad for you at the same time. Glad for you at the same time. Can't wait to it going. What? I thought I read it right. Sucks gonna have to work a 12-hour shifts for the first couple days I have it. Aw. That's gonna be a little weird. I'm tempted to get one, so I can actually finish the model diorama I had planned since the 90s. I got Boba Fett vinyl, Vader vinyl, Stormtrooper vinyl. So there was no Han Solo and Carbonite model at the time. Oh, diorama. The infamous scene. Oh. Okay. I read it wrong then. How much did the setup cost? This is a $400 printer I got. And filament ranges between like $20 and $30. This turns into a decease. Since I got my MK3, I'm close to a roll of filament through it. Still going strong. 50 rolls. Oh, you're 50 rolls into it. Would a clawed Wolverine fist be possible? You mean a wearable one? Maybe. Could I do it? Probably not. Could somebody else do it? High likelihood. Yo. This might be a printable right here, chat. Check this out. Nintendo Switch adjustable stand. That might be yes. That might be a yes. I meant the Wolverine, just his hand with claws out, raising up maybe. Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely possible. Oh, this is nice. I don't know how I got on the Switch train. Nintendo Switch attachable grip. Oh, my hands are singing to you right now. Oh, man. My hands are singing to you right now. That is such a good idea. That is such a good idea. That is such a good idea. My goodness. How did I get on the Switch side of this site? Where are my Pokemon Go fans at? Wait a minute. Where are the Pokemon Go people? Where are the Pokemon Go people? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do you need this? Why do you need this? Oh man, why would you? Whoa, man, why would you need that? Come on, come on, come on, Pokemans. Perfect game every time. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. This is a USB SD microcard SD holder. SD card holder. That's clean. I've seen a lot of these. This one's very clean though. It's very clean. See if you got the Wi-Fi adapter inserts. I like that. That's clean. So you don't waste Pokeballs. You sure won't. That's true. Alright, I always have the shower thing. You got like guys just around your house in the middle of nowhere. Oh. Okay, chat. We've been talking about practical stuff. Well, let's talk about practical stuff. Alright, we've been talking about practical stuff. But let's talk about practical stuff. Chat, we've been talking about practical stuff. Let's talk about practical stuff. Practicality. You know, okay, you combine that last thing with this. There you go. Combine the last thing with this keychain. There you go. Just don't put the thing on the keychain. Glue that to it. Bam. Keep your phone clean too. 'Cause you have to manage your phone till you do your business. You clean up, wash your hands, then you grab your phone. In theory. At least that's the theory, chat. Okay, there's a ton of phone holders on here. Like an infinite amount. Like I'm getting dizzy looking at all. That's a lot. A digital clock I printed? Yeah. Google, let me permit you first. There you go. You can also post in our Discord if you want to, in our 3D printing channel. Several people are in there watching. For links. Wait, what? Is this? That is kind of smart. I mean, that's like what Razer and all these guys are doing. And NVIDIA Shield. But you can do it with your Switch. That, I mean, that's no money. You just print. That would increase my Switch mobile hours probably like by 5 billion. Because I hate the Joy-Cons. I can't stand them. I'm gonna have to save that link. We're gonna have to save that link, chat. Let me check out Google's link. What is this? You printed a digital clock. You printed 90 hours per digit. Wow. Holy moly, that's huge too. 90 hours per digit. Monster Hunter, yeah, exactly. Now you're thinking like me, babe. Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah, tape measure for scale, dude. That's a foot and a half. Wait. Well, that's okay. That's more than a foot. Just putting that out there. Yeah. That's impressive, man. 90 hours per digit. Was it worth? Was it worth the time? It was awesome. Awesome. Articulating wall-mounted... Is this a phone thing? It is. But how do you mount it on the wall? That's what I'm looking at. Oh! 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 Genius! Okay, now I get it. It's got a little magnet and a mag... Okay. Nice. I get it now. At first I didn't understand, like, how does it mount? But then I took pictures and suddenly I understood. Oh, no, that's a clean Raspberry Pi case. I like that. It's really thin. I'm not gonna show you guys. Leave you in suspense. Plus, I don't feel like clicking it. Yeah. Security at the settlement is still overly rapid. Really? I only went to one that had security. I stopped for all of them to let me scan them. Or to let them scan me. I didn't even keep running. I just stopped. It's just out of habit now. All right, Dark Spectre, thanks for hanging out with us. Later. Have a good night, dude. Oh, what the heck is this? Wait a minute. A phone studio. Chat, look at Bodhi. Bodhi's looking good. Not Bodhi. Benchy. And it's got a Lazy Susan type thing. Dude, this might be worth doing. It's like a little baby studio thing. And you like twist it, it's just like, and it turns for you. You can take pictures and stuff. Wow. Wow. That's actually not a bad idea. I like that. I mean, I got a light box now. But I mean, I can't use that too. Or on top of it. Wow. Wow, chat. Wow. A Steadicam 2. Oh, is this a gyro? A 3D printed gyro? No, it's not a gyro. Y'all just messing with me. Gotta be messing with me. Hey Cheddar, welcome back. I mean, if it's long haul, this is definitely the last print. I am feeling it. Canst thou feel it, Mr. Krabs? You want to know if I can feel it? Your son will be up soon. It's you know, whatever. It's nah. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. How often do these things totally fail? I have no idea. I've had 2 failures so far in my 8 prints. Yes, something like that. They can fail, yeah. They can fail. I don't know how often though. And my failures mostly came from lack of supports and post-print mistakes. Yeah. So every failure was my mistake, not the printers. Ooh. It's a Millennium Falcon drone. That's cool. Amazing. But yeah, dude, once you get good at this, and something fails, you know, you usually know exactly why. I think everybody that I've talked to that's got like a lot of hours into this, they if something fails, they kind of have a really good idea. And I think that's how they develop brand loyalty. And they say, I go with this brand because based on my experience with brand X, you know, I have this happen more often than not, you know? So I just think it's like a lot of it comes with experience and knowing what to do and what not to do. And yes, if you go cheap on the filament, I learned that early from others. If you go cheap on the filament, you get what you pay for. That is not it's not just a cliche. You get what you pay for. So that's why you see me buying Jesse PLA. That's why you see me buying Prusament. All these were recommended by people that have tons of hours into this, and they say this filament is some of the best out there, and it's going to reduce your failures. And I'm like, I'm all for that. So I'm gonna be trying Jesse. I've already tried Prusament. I've already tried Hatchbox. So far, I like the Prusament better than the Hatchbox. And I'm gonna be trying Jesse this weekend for the first time. If one has difficulty removing these supports, I have 2 changes he can make in his slicer that will make them pop with nothing but his fingers beautifully. Loyal Moses, that would make my year. Seriously, because we were talking about like settings to tweak that stuff in the print settings. These settings here, dude. If you can hook me up with that knowledge, oh my goodness gracious, it's going to make my year. It's going to make me print a lot more stuff too, because I purposely not printed stuff because I'm a little bit squeamish about supports, and that's sad. Probably because of that first experience I had with it. All right, Rick, have a good night, man. I hope your trip goes well. I don't know if you're leaving tomorrow or whenever, but I heard you say you were planning for a trip, so I hope it goes well, man. If I don't see you before the trip. I'm mumbling. But we got about an hour left. So we're winding down. Pretty soon we're going to be at the shoulders and neck area. And then once we get to the head, it's going to be downhill from there. Literally. And if we make a mistake with this one, we'll learn from it, and if I have to print this again, I have to print this again. It's part of the process, man. Aw. What if they have this for my wife's iPhone? Look at this, babe. You watching? I was like, aw. Aw. This is for the iPhone 4, though. I'm hoping that I can find it for, like, your phone. Yeah, this is cute. It's cute. Who's the author of this? Maybe this guy has one for your phone. He does not. I am saddened. I am genuinely saddened. I'm probably gonna have to put my printer in my bedroom to keep it away from my cats. Like I have some good white noise. Should knock me right out if I can keep myself from watching it. Yeah, just be careful with that, man. It's just keep it ventilated. Because even with PLA, you kind of don't want to inhale too much of it. Not too much of it, you know. Be careful with it. I'll message you about the settings thing. Okay. Thank you, Loyal Moses. If I could, seriously, if I could just pull off supports, dude, I will print. I will support everything. I'm at the bed exhausted, long day, and I still have 120 emails to do, but they have to wait. Oh my gosh. All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. And I'm happy you stopped by. Yeah. I've been meaning to share the excitement with you. I know you were more excited than I was. Have a good rest, man. Have a good rest. I shouldn't have that. Oh, yeah. I'm already thinking about what to print after this, but I'm being smart enough not to even download anything else. Because it'll tempt me to, hey, it's only 2 hours. We can do another print. Buana, you've been streaming for 22 hours. You need to stop. And I'm like, we can do another print. Ugh. Gotta be smarter. It's okay to stop printing. There's other things to enjoy in life. Yeah. You're absolutely right. What do you mean slowly? Listen, I'll take my time doing anything. Unless I need to take my time doing it. So I'm not slowly slipping anywhere. Sir. Telling me I'm slowly doing it. No, I'm gonna do it quick like. I'm gonna do it fast. You know. I almost wish you would have went with a gray filament for Joe Fixing Hulk. Yeah, I don't have any gray. This is called Gentleman's Gray. But I have blue, this, and black. That's like all I have right now. Gentleman's Gray is the name of it. Yeah, that's the color name. I don't know how they come up with these names. I don't ask the questions, chat. I just work here. Yeah. Coming on the shoulders. We're getting to those shoulders of the Hulk. Pretty soon we'll be to those massive neck muscles, and then the neck, and then the face, and then the chin, and then the hair, and then the ears, in that order. Missed it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Oh man. I bought a 4-pack of black, red, green, and white, and then a spool of glow in the dark. Ooh, nice. To play with to start. Probably went too cheap with the 4-pack, but give me a tangible reason to spend more if it's too bad. Okay. Alright. Got the right attitude. I can dig it. Watching this guy on Twitch 3D print, and I watched him for 5 hours straight. I don't know what he was. I don't even know what 3D printing is, but I couldn't stop watching. I don't understand, but I had to see that Hulk. I had to see it done. I was not going to sleep until that Hulk was finished. I just described probably like 50 of you in chat right now. I will not sleep until we find out what it looks like. I get the same feeling, and now I'm $350 in. Where's your sponsorship? Hey man, it'll come. I just gotta keep at it. I just gotta print the right things, man, and people will whip out their wallet. One 3D printer, please. I'll have what he has. It'll happen. What other Marvel characters are you interested in? It'd probably be easier to say who I'm not interested in. I gotta look up names. What's it called? There's very few people that I'm not interested in. But the scrolls were annoying. I didn't like the whole thing behind the scrolls. That whole story arc on Marvel. I thought it was cheap. I thought it was poorly written. And I really wish they wouldn't have kept it around. The Kree and the scrolls and all that stuff, I don't like any of it. So naturally, I don't like stuff like I like Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel and you know some of the characters surrounding them, but the whole idea of the Kree and the Skrulls, I just didn't like them. And it was like I think they were originally created back in way when the Invasion of the Body Snatchers was a big movie. Way back when, and they just kept running with it, and it had no purpose anymore. So yeah, I don't like the Civil War story. It's another knockoff that was poorly done. And again, Marvel was copying DC, and they did it haphazardly, and it was very, very bad writing. I couldn't stand it. It made me swear off of Marvel for years. For years. So I hated Civil War. I couldn't stand it. It made me hate Tony Stark, which was one of my favorite characters in the books, and I actually hated Tony Stark after Civil War. The books. I'm not talking about the movies at all. So yeah. But who do I like? I like all the Avengers. West Coast Avengers. I like New Mutants. I like X-Men. I like Spider-Man. I like Hulk. The list goes on, dude. It's like I like Fantastic Four. I like Luke Cage. I used to read a lot of Power Man and Iron Fist growing up. So Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I really like those guys. Good morning, Dietrich. How you doing, man? Yeah, the Spider-Man universe I really like. Like just about everybody in it. I read a ton of Spider-Man. Thor, I like Thor. The Thor universe. Like I said West Coast Avengers, and that's the whole Vision Wanda stuff for me. It's like I really like the spin-offs of the Avengers more than I think in a lot of ways I like that more than I like the Avengers. Same with X-Men. Like I really enjoyed the main X-Men comics, but I end up enjoying New Mutants even more. So I think those Marvel spin-offs are some of my favorites. And I'm talking, these are old stuff, man. I haven't read these comics in years, so I don't know what they're doing now. But this is when I was a kid. Secret Wars 2 was probably, it was the most I read a comic when I was young. And I tell you guys, I talk to you guys about the Beyonder all the time and how stupid of a story it was. But I love Secret Wars because it was my first introduction to bringing, you know, a lot of books today, they have like these events like Civil War, like Infinite Crisis, like Identity Crisis, where they bring like all the heroes together for a massive story, right? Secret Wars 2 was my first introduction to that. And that's where I saw like all the Marvel characters be like, all right, the Beyonders gotta die. And it was a really cool thing to see everybody come together like that. So Secret Wars 2 was really one of my favorite books growing up, and I read it over and over and over. I just read it from cover to cover. I think it was 12 books. The series was like 12 books. I just read them back to back over and over again. I loved it. And then Civil War came out, and I ended up hating Marvel. And then I went over to DC and got into Crisis on Infinite Earths and all the Infinite Crisis stuff and New 52 stuff. And that's when I got into Kingdom Come. That's when I got into Identity Crisis. That's when I got into a lot of the great DC books. Was when Civil War just kicked me out of Marvel. And I was watching JLA at the same time. So while I was reading these books, I was watching Justice League on TV. So it was like I was in DC heaven. This is before all the stupid movies came out. So all the movies from Marvel, I mean. The only thing that DC came out with that was successful was like Batman, right? Batman was like the only thing. And Marvel had nothing. No movies. DC had Superman, they had Batman. Those were two blockbuster hits, right? Back in the day. Marvel really didn't have anything. Have you watched the New Mutants film? No, I haven't. I have not watched it yet. X-Men, his first Spider-Man movies weren't too bad. Well, this was before those two. When Batman came out, this is with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Like, there was nothing out. There was nothing. Marvel had nothing. This was like, what, 80s, 90s? What was that Batman movie? $1989. Yeah, 89. So that predates Spider-Man, I think, right? I think that predates Spider-Man. I think that predates X-Men as well. Yeah. And then, Superman was 70s, I think. 78. So yeah, I'm dating myself. I'm talking 1978, I'm talking 1989. And then, after that, Spider-Man, X-Men, ultimately Iron Man, and then all the MCU happened, and then, the movies kind of improved. And then DC tried with. I enjoyed Green Lantern mostly because of the Sinestro. I think Sinestro was perfectly casted, and the whole stuff around the Lantern Corps was really well done. Ryan Reynolds wasn't the best, but I still like Green Lantern. I'm going to DC movies that I actually enjoyed. What was the other one? Besides Green Lantern that came out. That was, there were some Supermans. It was some Supermans that I didn't like. Like Man of Steel I liked. The Superman before Man of Steel I didn't like. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was average at best, right? Oh, that's your clip?
What the? Why did I get so many legendaries?
She's hacking. Chad, look at this. This is what my wife does. Look at it. Look at this.
What the? Why did I get so many legendary?
That's her. You guys, you get first-hand viewage. And I'll get 0. I'll play for 3 years and get 0. She'll get 20 in one sitting. It never fails. But let me see. Let me go a list of DC movies here so I can go down the line. Now, DC, again, I think DC got a bad rep because DC didn't do tie-ins. Like, if you ask me, I thought Iron Man was a good movie on its own, but if everything else didn't tie into Iron Man, Marvel movies wouldn't be as good as they were. They made the conscious decision to tie everything in and to hook everybody together and get all these people into one movie, and that was the deal breaker. Because I thought Iron Man was a really good film. I watched it a lot. I watched it a ton, but listen, if Thor wasn't tied to that, and if, you know, Captain America wasn't tied to that, they would not have been as good as they were. So let me see. 1989, The Return of Swamp Thing. Nah. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. Nah. Batman was the best one. But chill. And all these other ones, nah. You can just delete all those. Catwoman, eh. Constantine, brilliant. Brilliant. Keanu, brilliant. Everybody don't want to talk about Constantine. Don't nobody want to talk about Constantine. Constantine was brilliant. Batman Begins was the beginning of what's his face's Batman's, and I think it was a good reboot of Batman. It was. I don't think it was as influential as the 1989 Batman because they had everybody on that crap. And I attribute like all the superhero movie fandom and success to that Batman. Listen, that I don't know if y'all remember, but in 1989, like everybody was buying Batman merchandise. Like I was trying to get a Batman medallion to wear around my neck. Prince was singing Batman. Batman. You know, everybody was Batmaning it up. It was crazy. It was mania. If you weren't alive around that time, listen, you can attribute the superhero movie craze, the resurgence of it, right, to Batman 1989. After that, everything was just like, and then they made all the sequels and they ruined everything. Michael Keaton left and they went downhill. But Constantine, I loved Constantine. That was my jam. Batman Begins was good. Superman Returns, I didn't like. Nope. They keep that one. Dark Knight was good. Watchmen was okay. I think Watchmen needed a Snyder cut. I feel like they cut a lot out. Watchmen needed a Snyder cut. They really did. Let's see. Jonah Hex, I didn't see. Green Lantern, like I told you, it was. I enjoyed Green Lantern because I'm a big Green Lantern fan, and they made some of the. They did some of the settings perfectly, like with the what you call it, the leaders and stuff. I'm telling you, man, they nailed it. But there were some movies that fell flat. Some part of the movies that fell flat, like the final guy. I mean, freaking Cloud, ridiculous. Dark Knight Rises was good. Man of Steel, I really enjoyed. A lot of people gave it a lot of bad rep, but I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I hate the ending. With a passion. It's like a Mass Effect 3 effect on me when it comes to the end of Man of Steel, right? But I really enjoyed the movie. Mainly because they nailed Krypton. They nailed Krypton. And very few Superman movies nailed Krypton. Like all the other ones made Krypton look like a hazy dream. with people walking around like they're in Clash of the Titans. Oh, my son, Kylo, I will send you to Earth because Krypton is now falling. We are going to die anyway. But you, my son, I will put you in rocket ship. I will shoot you to Earth. You will become strong. And Man of Steel was just like, they had Russell Crowe was like on trial. They was getting down. It was dark and dirty and stank. And you saw all the nastiness of Krypton. I was like, yes! Yes! Thank you! Yes! I don't see Blazing on this list. That's why I didn't mention it. So yeah, I was really, really happy with Man of Steel, but that ending though, somebody dropped the ball on the ending. I'm like, no. Batman v Superman. I need to watch it again because I only watched it like 0.8 times. I read the book, and I didn't like the book. But it looked like they twisted this story to kind of make it work in what Man of Steel did. I didn't watch it all. Suicide Squad was, how can I put this? It was like Batman's edgy cousin that got on your nerves, trying to be edgy, and he's really not. It was just it's like it tried so hard to be a rebel movie, and it ended up, to me, just trying too hard. And I didn't think it was worthy of a movie, honestly. I still, even the new one, I don't think it's worthy of a movie. It's one of the weaker books. It won an Oscar? I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wonder Woman was really good. Arguably one of the best DC movies ever. It was really, really good. Like super duper good. It was like Captain America good. And you know, Wonder Woman and Captain America have like similar timelines, if you will. You know, obviously she's Amazon. She lived for I don't know how hundreds of years. And you know, Captain America was in the World War times. They have like similar timelines, right? And Wonder Woman was one of the best movies of all time. Justice League, I just saw. And we're gonna talk about Snyder Cut. I saw Justice League 2017 Justice League after I saw Snyder Cut. And I was so happy that I did. I watched Snyder Cut first, and then I went back and watched 2017. 2017 Justice League felt rushed. It wasn't a bad movie, it was a rushed movie. It's like they said, all right, we're just gonna skip all of that. Like even if, without watching Snyder Cut, they just like bounced all over the place. I was like, well, why are we here? Why are we here? What's wrong? Wait, where'd he come from? It was such a compressed movie that it made no sense. And it felt like they were just making the movie to make it. And then when I watched Snyder Cut, I'm like, yes. Yes. Snyder Cut explained all the gaps in the original, right? And I was like, oh, that's why they did. Oh, that's why oh, that's why, you know, it like filled in all the gaps that the original was just like, it just like pieced all this stuff together and didn't tell you anything. And even as somebody who's big in the Justice League and knows stuff, I was still like, what is going on in 2017 Justice League? So, I mean, it's no contest. Freaking Snyder Cut just drop kicked the original. No contest. Okay, Aquaman. Aquaman was bumpy. It could have been as good as Wonder Woman, but it has some pacing issues. It was like, oh, this is awesome. Let's go. Oh, cool. That's cool. The pacing was just like, you lost me. Okay, you got me. Oh, you lost me. Oh, you got me. Oh, you lost me. It just, I was overall disappointed in it mainly because it was inconsistent. It felt rushed in some areas, but other areas were really good because I thought they did a good job of making the new Aquaman, the new 52 Aquaman, look and bad as he is in the books. Because Aquaman was a joke before the new 52 reboot. Before the reboot, Aquaman was a joke. In the new reboot, Aquaman was amazing, right? And they kind of brought that Aquaman to the film, but the pacing of the movie, man, took too freaking long. Shazam! I didn't see it yet. I need to watch it. Joker, didn't watch it. I don't think I want to watch Joker. Joker to me is in the same vein as Suicide Squad. I feel like it was like trying to be like a Cannes Film Festival take on Joker. And I don't want to watch that. That's probably why I didn't want to watch it, because it just felt like it was taking it to a level where I don't think Joker should be, right? And that's why I didn't want to watch it. Like, I watched a little bit of it. I was like, I don't want to watch the rest of this. So maybe I'll sit down and watch the whole thing. But Shazam, I do want to see. I just haven't had access to it yet. Birds of Prey. The heck is that? Oh, is that the Harley Quinn movie? Didn't see it. Nope. I don't even know. I'm just gonna put a giant nope on that. And we come to the best one. Yes, I've been waiting all night for this one. Wonder Woman 1984. Yes. Here we are, chat. We're at the climax of badness. The absolute worst movie ever made in any comic book setting. I cannot believe that they had the audacity to call this movie a movie. It was so bad. Like, it wasn't even cheesy bad. You know how something's cheesy? You're like, oh, it's bad, but I like it. This is like, this is bad. And I don't want to watch anymore. Wonder Woman 1984 is the pinnacle of, I just can't believe that they went from the best movie in DC history to the worst movie in DC history. It's such a discrepancy, chat. It is such a discrepancy. You got the best movie in Wonder Woman and you got the worst in 1984. Everything was bad. The characters, the pacing, the action, the special effects, the acting, everything was bad. There was nothing good about it. There was absolutely nothing good about it. And I was so surprised. I was like, I thought it was going to at least be all right. I thought it was going to be on like the same level of as an Aquaman or even Green Lantern. I thought it was going to be on the same level as Green Lantern. Oh my goodness, dude. It was insanely, I couldn't believe how terrible that movie was. Like, that's a movie you would tell your enemy to watch. I can't believe they actually paid money to make that. Chat, if you get a chance to watch Wonder Woman 1984, make sure you're asleep. Okay, and then we got 2021, the Suicide Squad, and 22 the Batman's coming out. So those are in post-production, and the new Suicide Squad is going to be released soon. I got a refund to that movie. I thought I bought it online after 5 out of 10 minutes. I said nope. It's golly, man. Like, I couldn't even, usually I can find good, like, I just went through like a long DC movie list and told you the movies that I saw, and you know, a lot of these were rated stinkers, but I still found something good in them. Either the setting, the origins, how they did some parts of it. There were some good parts about it. Wonder Woman 1984, there was absolutely nothing good about it. Nothing. There was nothing. Like there, I think back to it. I'm like, was there anything good? No, nothing. Like the story, like the story was so cliche. It was like a bad soap opera where somebody died and then they wake up and they go, "Huh, it was a dream." I'm like, what, huh? And then it's just, and I was just like, how can they stitch these things together? And they came up with this ancient all-purpose fix device that was tied to this dude, and I was just like, what in the world am I watching? It was so awful, man. It was like cartoons are better than this. Yes, they wasted him too, man. It was. Don't literally. If somebody makes you watch it, you need to take some Benadryl. You know, you need something to put you to sleep and apologize while you're sleeping, because you don't want to watch that. That's a movie I would not put. Listen, you could be a happier person if you never watched Wonder Woman 1984. You will literally be a happier person. There's no benefit to watching that movie. Now people are like, oh, Blunt, if you watch a terrible movie, you can appreciate good movies. No, this movie just destroys you. It's just gonna damage you. You don't want it. You don't want this in your life. It's insane. Like I have seen bad movies, like for real. I have seen bad movies, but I have always said, okay, it was cheesy. I chuckled. I did the. I can't find a single thing about Wonder Woman 1984 that I can remotely say was even good. It came out. That's about it. They released it. How you doing, Raz? Anyone make it to Battlefield Earth? I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think I've seen Battlefield Earth. So yeah, man, I think DC movies, overall, they're average to good to okay. But I think they lost their way for a while, and Marvel kicked it in. Because they were riding the waves of Batman and Dark Knight and stuff. When did Iron Man come out? 2000. When did Iron Man come out, chat? 2008. So that was the same year as The Dark Knight. That was the same year as The Dark Knight. And Superman Returns, which was awful, came out in 2006. Hey, Dave Topper with the button. Oh, I'm sorry. Raz gifted a sub to Dave Topper. Chat, show us some love in the chat. If you have some love in the chat.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Dave _
What happened to Dietrich? What happened? What's my bot doing? He got timed out for something. I don't know what happened. Thank you so much, Raz. Appreciate that, man. Sorry, Dietrich. I don't know what happened. I thought you were. I don't know if you posted a link or what, but yeah, thank you, man. But I never saw. I never saw Battlefield Earth. Never saw it. But Iron Man came out in 2008. And I'm telling you, man, tie-ins. I don't think nobody's ever done that to that scale. It is. That's why DC tried to copy it. Basically, the DC was like, man, they're onto something. Bring the same characters from all the other movies that, their origin movies, and bring them together for an epic story. Like this is a freaking comic book, right? And that's why MCU right now is ingrained in people that have never read any comic book in their life. And then when you tell them that, hey, DC did this better, they laugh at you because all they know are the movies. Like, I'm like, hey, you should read Identity Crisis and it'll tell you what Civil War should have been. And they go, no, DC is crap because Superman or something. Or like, oh, you should probably read, you should probably look at Infinite Crisis. That's a great multiverse story rather than what Marvel's trying to do with their stuff. No. Sure, you're gonna hate Superboy Prime, but everybody hates Superboy Prime. Oh, we finished the neck. Are we working on the head now? So let's go to the Marvel movies. I'm gonna rate these for y'all the last 20 minutes we got. This won't take long. Okay, MCU. Let's start with Iron Man. The beginning of it. Iron Man was an amazing movie. I used to watch it and I used to love the cave scene. The beginning part where he gets captured and he builds the original suit, that was my favorite part of that entire movie. It was really well written, really well paced. It introduced some characters, and it was just like, man, it was a great story. So it was the originator. The Incredible Hulk. Wasted. Absolutely wasted. There was, much as I love Hulk, I'm printing Hulk right now. That movie was a waste. It was a waste. Iron Man 2, really. Wait, which one is 2? 2 is, which one's the Mandarin? Is that 3? Whichever one is the Mandarin is my favorite Iron Man. I think it was 3. I think 2 was the guy with the "I want my Boyd." Yeah, 2 to me. 2 was, to me, 2 was a good attempt, but I didn't like. I didn't like it, man. I didn't like 2. 2 was average. It was like Mass Effect 2. It was like good action, good effects, but the story was crap. And then Thor came out. Thor was really good to me. I think they did a great job with Thor because I love the Thor universe. I thought that movie nailed it. I really did. I didn't like Natalie Portman though. They could have deleted all her scenes and the movie would have been just as good. Notice how she kind of vanished and later they could have did that in the first movie. They could have left Natalie Portman out. Sorry. But I know some of y'all love Natalie Portman, but that was a waste of stuff. Captain America, I have family members that I debated with about Captain America. They said it was boring. I said it's one of the better origin movies in all of the Marvel books. I mean, all of the Marvel movies. Iron Man had a solid origin. You got to kind of see how Thor got expelled. So his origin as well. Not really his origin, but his origin. Captain America, to me, like, built the foundation for Avengers. And that's why they call it the first Avengers. Right? Like, all the stuff around Hydra, the Serum, multiverse stuff, the Tesseract, all that came from Captain America. Not Iron Man. I want people to realize that. I'm like, the foundation of the Avengers story was not Iron Man. It was Captain America. That's where everything started. That's where they say, all right, let's get real. Let's get really real. That's when they got real. And then they came out with Avengers, right? And Avengers was like, all right, they're all on the same screen at the same time. I'm going to sit here and just pee myself because of all the stardom on the screen. And we couldn't believe it. And it was really well paced, had a lot of action. It tied the stories together. So it was like, how can you not fail? Right? How can you not fail with that? It was I wasn't gonna say it's perfect, but it was a good culmination of all the previous stuff. It was a good summary. They could have ended on that. I'll be honest with y'all. If they would have ended on that, I would have felt a lot better than I do today because I hate it. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. Iron Man 3, best Iron Man movie. Tony Stark without the suit is the best Tony Stark. Hands down. Best Iron Man movie. Forget the Mandarin sucked, blah, blah, blah. Iron Man without the suit, Tony Stark is the star of the show. Best Iron Man movie. I only care about the villains of Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 1, whatever. They were all weak anyway. All the villains in Iron Man movies were weak. Mandarin not an exception. It's like even not even the right Mandarin. I don't know what that Mandarin is, right? But Tony Stark without the suit, what he had to do, what he had to go through, the anxiety, the post-Avengers stuff, the internal conflicts, the marriage life, you know, all that stuff. It was like the best story. Highly underrated. Highly underrated. Let me tell you. Because if you watch Iron Man 3 and then you go and watch Endgame, like you watch those two back to back, they make perfect sense. Why? Because they're all about Tony. It's like the Tony Stark story, man. And he was one of my favorite book characters. Iron Man 3, listen, if somebody told you this is sucked, you need to watch it again. Really, dude. Because it's a highly underrated story because it tells some deep stuff, man. And Tony Stark had to relate to a kid because he's a freaking child. He's a freaking grown genius child. So he had to basically work with a kid. And that spoke volumes in itself, right? That told so much about, that was just like, wow. He had to actually talk to a kid to get through this. Because he's a big giant kid himself. All right. Thor: The Dark World. I don't even know why they made it. Anybody remember? I barely remember what happened. His sister, Ragnarok, Asgard blew up. I think that's all I remember. It was awful. So Thor: Dark World, they could have deleted that. That's their Wonder Woman 1984. I'm just kidding. Thor: Dark World was bad. Like I barely remember what it was. Okay, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier to me felt like a TV show. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It felt like a TV show, but a really, really good TV show. You know how TV shows have like the hero and they're on the run. Like it was a one-armed man, and then it's like it felt like a really, really good TV show, right? And we got to see the conflicting nature of Tony Stark versus Steve Rogers, right? They were like, it was like this really, really unbelievable level of jealousy between Tony Stark and Steve, because Tony believed that his father loved Steve like a son. And he'll probably blame Steve for a lot of that animosity he had with his dad, because his dad basically worshiped Steve Rogers. Like almost is like half his life he worshipped him, right? So you saw that animosity between the two kind of swell, and then it's like boom, it just everything got out of hand in Winter Soldier, right? Guardians of the Galaxy comedy, straight up comedy, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. Guardians of the Galaxy was a comedy MCU needed, because Spider-Man wasn't there. Spider-Man is usually the best Marvel comedian, right? Spider-Man is supposed to crack you up. And Guardians of the Galaxy was that comedy we needed. It was that comic relief. Sure, it had its dark moments, blah, 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 the Tesseract, but it was really, really slapstick comic book comedy. Like, I don't know if anybody here has ever read a comic book and like cracked up laughing while reading it. That's what, Guardians of the Galaxy did. It was really good. Really, really good. Well made. Age of Ultron. I didn't like it that much, man. That was like one of the worst Avengers movies, honestly. You had Avengers, you had Age of Ultron, you had what was the one after Age of Ultron? There was something before Endgame. Infinity War. Yeah, Infinity War and then Endgame. I thought Age of Ultron was the worst one of all the Avengers movies. Now, Civil War was a Captain America movie. Age of Ultron was one of the worst ones. It was. They introduced Wakanda, not Wakanda, Wakanda, the Sokovia stuff, and Ultron. It was very forgettable. It was very forgettable. It was like a stepping stone to the next movie. Ant-Man, comedy. Paul Rudd is a comedic genius. They casted him perfectly. Ant-Man, was really, really funny. And I did not expect it to be. I thought it was going to be really, really serious, like Hank Pym, passing on the mantle of that. You know, I thought it was going to be like serious, but it was hilarious. It was really funny. It was entertaining. One of the better movies they made, like for real. That was a movie that didn't have a lot behind it, and they made it really good. That's probably my most respected movie out of all of them. Because when you say Ant-Man, to somebody, everybody was just like, oh. But after you watched it, you were like, oh. Yeah. Okay, Civil War. I told y'all how I felt about Civil War. I told y'all that the books they made me hate Tony Stark. And the movie lived up to that in that Tony Stark made a lot of the same stupid decisions and went down past that he did in the books as well, right? But the thing I liked about Civil War was that you saw allegiances form. And I think that was an important thing, especially going forward. You saw allegiances. You saw who was allegiant, who was willing to basically get arrested for who. You saw loyalties, right? And that was interesting. That was really interesting to watch. I think that I didn't get that from the books as much as I got it from the movie. Probably because I was so mad at the books, I couldn't even read what I was looking at. You got to saw the elite. You got to see the allegiances form and more character development. That was a big character development movie, and I think it was kind of like the driving force behind the movies that came out, because all the stuff that happened in Civil War kind of was like a pivot for a lot of people. You know, they all led up to that Avengers, Ultron, and then boom, everybody pivoted in Civil War, including Spider-Man. Spider-Man shows up, right? Yeah, lines were drawn. Exactly. Yeah. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was good. I like Doctor Strange. I think it was well casted. I think it was highly underrated though. People don't even remember Doctor Strange. And it's one of the, out of all these movies, the ones that I've watched multiple times, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man 3, right? I've watched those, of the ones I've listed, I've watched those multiple times. So many, and the original Iron Man 2. Everything else I really only watched like once or twice. Like Thor, I watched like maybe 3 times. Dark World, I barely watched once. Winter Soldier, I watched once. But Guardians, Ant-Man, the original Iron Man 3, and Doctor Strange, I just watched many, many, many times. It was my kind of movie. I liked it. It could have been better, definitely. It had a lot of weak elements. And when I watch it now, I find myself fast forwarding past those elements. So the pacing was a little off. But I really, really liked it. I really, really liked it. Because every time I watch it, I see something different. And I like those types of movies. Okay, Guardians Volume 2 was a good follow-up, but it wasn't as good as the original. Guardians Volume 2 was trying to be a little bit more serious while keeping the same humor. But it's hard to top that first one. It really is. Volume 2 was funny, though. It was funny, but it kind of had that really serious tone because we knew what was coming. We know Thanos was coming, right? So I think it was kind of taking a turn for that. Spider-Man Homecoming. This is where I get into controversial territory, chat. I couldn't stand it. The MCU Spider-Man, I don't like it at all. And I'm trying to be as diplomatic as I possibly can. I just didn't like it at all. The new guy who plays Spider-Man, Mary Jane, his friends, it's like a bad fanfic. It's like a really bad fan fiction. It's so bad. I was like, what am I watching? We had a movie night with our community and we watched it. And I was like the only one going, what is happening? I was like, who is this? Because I love the original books and they basically rebooted everybody. And if it was a good reboot, I would not have been I would not have been as appalled as I was, but it was a shoehorn. It was like, ugh, let's push the square peg into the circle. Ah! It was just like, what? And it felt forced, and it just wasn't good. I mean, it really felt like they were changing things for the sake of changing things, right? It wasn't cohesive. It was just to change things. It's like we need a new Spider-Man, so let's just make things different. So Spider-Man: Homecoming to me, basically the Spider-Man reboot, I could not stand it. I didn't like it. Thor Ragnarok. I have tons of mixed feelings about this. It's a hard thing because Thor Ragnarok was a really, really good movie. It was funny. It had great writing. It had great pacing. It had good characters. You saw Loki and Thor in a way that you never saw them before. It was really, really good. It had a good cast. It was really funny, right? Here's my dilemma with it. There's another movie out called Planet Hulk, which is why you see me crazy about Hulk right now. I used to read Hulk, but I didn't get crazy over Hulk until Planet Hulk. So Ragnarok is Planet Hulk light. So the reason why I'm salty about it is because they did that, but they wouldn't make a Planet Hulk movie. And that's kind of unfair to Ragnarok, because Ragnarok on its own, like I said, was a great movie. But I was so mad. I was like, these are bits and pieces from Planet Hulk that they're kind of injecting into a Thor movie, and they expect us to think that that's a good enough Planet Hulk nod, which is probably the best all-time Hulk series ever made was Planet Hulk. Like that whole Coliseum thing and all the things, that's from Planet Hulk. That stuff when Beta Ray Bill, which they showed a statue of, but they showed you about, that's Planet Hulk, right? So instead of calling the movie Planet Hulk and making a proper Planet Hulk, they're like, nah, since we got all these issues with the Hulk, whatever, blah, 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 we're going to call it Thor Ragnarok. And we're going to have a sequel to Dark World, which was awful. And people won't care because nothing in Dark World really mattered in Ragnarok. It really didn't. It was like, oh, Loki fell off this, and Thor lost his eye, whatever. Yes. So to me, that's why I have really mixed feelings, because Thor Ragnarok is hilarious. You gotta watch it. It's really funny. It's like Guardians funny. Seriously, and that's why you see like memes coming out of it, because it's got so many one-liners. It's got so many one-liners. Oh my gosh. And it's really well written. So it's in the top 5. It's really, really good. Really good. I was shocked how good it was. But I was also mad because I didn't get Planet Hulk. And that's unfair to the movie, but I always recommend it. Black Panther was probably the best representation that you could possibly do of Wakanda. They literally did. They got it perfect. I was just like, I was literally, it was like Green Lantern levels of like atmosphere, and also the stuff I talked about with Superman and Krypton, and how well they did Krypton. Wakanda, man, they nailed it. When I was reading the book as a kid, that's what I imagined Wakanda to be like, for real, and they got it perfect. The cast was great. The story was great. I like the tie-ins into America. And just how when people left their homeland and how they came to America, they had to adapt, and how it's just like, you got to see that side of stuff, right? Did I think it deserved Oscar? Nah. I didn't think it was that good. I thought it was a really good movie, but I didn't think it was. I didn't think it deserved whatever award it was up for. Movie of the year, something like that. I don't know, but I didn't think it deserved that. I thought it was really, really good though. Really good movie. Okay, Infinity War. Infinity War is probably my favorite Avengers movie. Because the Avengers got their butt kicked. They just got their butts kicked all up and down. They just got like, we big bad Avengers. No, Thanos came and just thumped them. And I was enjoying every second of it. Except Hulk. Except Hulk. We're going to talk about that when we get to Endgame. Infinity War is my favorite Avengers. It really was. It felt like an epic tale. Right? And it was directed by Anthony Joe Russo, right? It wasn't Joss. I could tell it wasn't Joss. I could tell. I was like, no, that's not Josh. Right? That can't be Joss. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Joss. But it was Anthony Joe Russo, right? The Russo brothers. It was the best Avengers, if you ask me. Because they were the Avengers in that movie. That was the Avengers. If you read an Avengers book, that was them. That was it. That was it right there. So they came together. They had their roles. They had their stuff. They had a plan. Everybody trusted each other. They had cohesion. They were ready to go. Right? And post Age of Ultron, they knew their weaknesses. So they were a really strong unit, right? And then this... I am inevitable. Oh,
Mr. Stark, mine don't feel no good.
Blah. Oh, I saw some TikTok videos of people reacting in the movies. There were people crying. I heard a little kid go, "No!" And then people like with disbelief silence, like, wait a minute. It's a dream, right? It's a dream, right? No, this isn't Wonder Woman 1984. It wasn't a dream. Okay. So Infinity War was really good. It was really good. It was a good tragedy. If that was a trilogy, that should have been the middle movie, really. Ant-Man and the Wasp was kind of weak. It was a very forgettable story. It was kind of like trying to get you the origins of the Wasp. But it kind of just glossed over it. Yeah, this happened, blah, blah, blah. We were researching this and we and she was stuck. It was just like, movie over. Okay, what happened? It was weak. It was a weak Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man was a lot better. But by that time, we loved the characters and we just were happy to see them again. Which is the theme of this whole rant. MCU is a giant, oh my gosh, I love these characters. I just want to see them on the screen again. That's MCU. So that's why Disney Plus and Disney, they're just gonna make $1 billion because all they gotta do is put them on the screen and people will latch on. Captain Marvel. Trying really hard to be Wonder Woman 1984. But didn't quite do it. Captain Marvel tried to be 1984, Wonder Woman 19, but it didn't quite do it because there were some good parts in it. It tried though. It tried really, really hard to, but it was the weakest movie out of all of them. It was like Thor Dark World levels, but it was worse. They really could have left that out and nobody would have missed it. Like, honestly, it's like, I don't know why they made that movie. I don't know why they made it. It was. I watched it and I was just like, I think I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, so we're just learning more about the Krees and the Skrulls and we're gonna why and you guys know how I feel about Krees and Skrulls. I don't like the whole story anyway. So that didn't help the movie. That I hated that storyline. But I just thought it was a bad movie. It was the worst movie, worst Marvel movie. Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame. Oh man. Oh man. This is a case where this is something I rarely do, chat. Hey, Hulk is done. Good, because we're about to talk about him. All right, we got the cooldown is happening. We need about a couple minutes. Endgame was a rare case of Buona mismanaging his expectations. I really thought it was going to be up here. Actually, I thought it was going to be up here, and it was down here. It's a rare case of mismanaged expectations because I loved Infinity War. Absolutely loved Infinity War. So I had really high expectations, and it was made by the same guys, right? So I was like, oh man, they're gonna do it again. Please. Please. Okay. First off, I just talked about a long movie called Snyder Cut, the DC Justice League Snyder Cut, right? I talked about how it filled in the gaps. And the movie was freaking long. Thank you, Chronic Kills, for the 53 months. Chat, showing some love if you haven't already. So
the end of Endgame I couldn't even hear with the amount of people.
I thought Snyder Cut was a really long movie, but it made me want to keep watching. Snyder Cut was like, I never felt like it was too long. I always felt like I wanted to watch more. Endgame, by 45 minutes into it, I'm like, is the movie gonna start? It was the first hour or so. They could have just cut that out. It did nothing. I was like, that's a 5 to 10 minute scene that you just stretched out to 50 minutes. And I didn't understand why. I was like, wow, why are they stretching this so much? And it wasn't even about like, I want to know what happens. I'm like, this is boring. So the movie was too long. Endgame was too long. First problem. Second problem. This gentleman right here on the screen right now goes by the name of Incredible Hulk. Goes by the name of the Incredible Hulk, right? He, in Infinity War, which confused the heck out of everybody, literally ran. Hulk ran. Hulk got his butt kicked and he ran. I'm like, why did Hulk run? I was like, I need to know why Hulk ran. I really know. I was like, there's gotta be. And then in the next movie he was in, what other movie he was in? I think it was Ragnarok, right? It was kind of Ragnarok, right? Ragnarok was like a little bit after that. And then, yeah, I think it was just Ragnarok. So I was like, okay, why did Hulk run? What happened with him? So, was it Doctor Strange? No, it wasn't Doctor Strange. What was the movie where Tony Stark asked him to break out Hulk and he's like, he didn't want to come out? Was that Spider-Man? Where he asked Banner to bring out Hulk and he was like, he didn't want to come out. Was that Infinity War? Yeah, it was Infinity War. Okay, it was in Infinity War. My bad. So I was confused about that. I was like, I don't understand why he did that. And I wasn't mad because like I said, Infinity War was one of my favorites. But I was like, what's going on with Hulk? So we get to Endgame. We see Hulk in a suit with some glasses on. I'm like, what happened? I would like an explanation, please. This was literally me. I wasn't mad. I was like, I would like an explanation, please. And you know what they said? Me and the big guy came to an understanding. Ha ha ha. Next scene. So why did you run? It is the biggest plot hole in the entire MCU. I'm just like, you just got the most powerful character
in the MCU, and you just basically deleted him from the movie, and you didn't give us a reason why. All you said was one line. I rewatched it. I was like, that's all he said. And I was, oh, my wife, she knows I was hot. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then in this movie, he's like Pansy. He's like, oh, I'm Dr. Hulk. Bad joke number 1. Bad joke number 2. Bad joke number I'm just like, where is Hulk? Me and the big guy came around the same. So again, like in Thor Ragnarok, where they crammed Planet Hulk into another movie, they got Dr. Hulk and they crammed that into Endgame. So they treated Hulk like a dirty little idiot. It's like Hulk just got abused throughout the entire MCU. It's like they just inject all this crazy stuff that doesn't make sense, and they expect you to be okay. It was just like, wait a minute, he was the best. I mean, everybody stood up and cheered when Hulk was like Hulk smash and just went and smashed everything. Everybody was like, ah! And then you do this to him, right? You reduce him to this, and at the same time, they did the same. They made Thor fat drunk. I'm like, what are you doing? I need to drink some water. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this movie doing? Everybody's melting. It's a meltdown. I'm like, that's freaking Thor, man. This is not Hawkeye. That's Thor. And I was just like, what is happening? 2 of my favorite characters have been reduced to that. I was so mad. I was already mad about Hulk, but then they did that to Thor. I was like, so everything else after that was just a formality. I was just like, I don't care what happens now. And then they did all the time travel stuff. I'm like, oh, this is stupid. That's cliche. That's a soap opera. There we go. Let's fix everything with time travel. And I literally was done by then. Like the last hour and a half of the movie, I was done. I didn't care anymore. And I have not watched that movie since. I have not watched it since. I literally couldn't watch it again because it was so bad. This was the finality of all this stuff that we just talked about. Captain America, I'm like, Captain America, you gonna go back and what? So I really think they all got drunk and said, let's just do the opposite. Yeah, let's make Hulk a doctor. Let's make Thor a drunk, and let's make Captain America the deserter. I'm gonna go back and marry my true love. I'm forget all y'all. You got this. But with all that being said, I thought Endgame was trash. For all those reasons. Spider-Man Far From Home, I really, it was a Tony Stark memorial movie with some villain. Okay. Spider-Man Far From Home was so awful that I'd already hated Homecoming, so I knew I wasn't gonna like Far From Home. But Endgame to me, it was really it was a story of me mismanaging my expectations, which I try not to do. I had really high hopes for that movie, and it was really bad. It took everything I loved and it stepped on it. And that takes effort. After you build all these characters up like that, to actually destroy them like that in one movie, not even a movie, like in the first hour. Like how that takes talent to do that, right? And I really couldn't. So I really think what they're gonna do now with MCU on Disney Plus, I think they got a lot of potential to make some good stuff. But
I beg them, literally, Disney, if y'all watching this, you probably not. Disney, if y'all watching this, don't put Hulk in another movie unless you're gonna do it right. For real. Like, stop half doing Hulk movies. Incredible Hulk was horrible. And then Infinity War, you basically deleted them from the movie. And then Endgame, you didn't explain it, and then you had him play some side role. Like, I mean, come on, make a proper Hulk movie, and or don't make one at all. That's all I ask, for real. Just don't touch him. Just leave him alone. All right, we're gonna start removing some supports. I'll see y'all on the other side. At least our Hulk is done. I'm gonna do my best to remove these supports as fast as I can and show you all the finished product. If I can't remove them fast, then we'll just put it off for another day. All right, I'm heading in there. All right, I'm about to bring that chair in here. Yeah, I think I will. All right, guys. So let's take this off first. Oh, you can't hear me. Hold on. Okay, is it back? I disconnected the camera by accident. Okay, it's back. Oh, thank you for the 5 gifted, man. Chat, show some love if you haven't already. Thank you, man.
The underscore lock underscore nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Undertaker 26. The underscore lock underscore nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Apophis underscore 2068.
Alright, I got my chair. And we're gonna do this. Give myself a little room.
The underscore lock underscore nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Justin81.
Oh, don't you fly off there.
The
Alright,
underscore
let's take this
lock
off.
underscore nar gifted a tier 1 sub to hello underscore Mikey.
Cool. Alright. Ow. Alright, let's move this back a bit. Give myself some room here. Open Sesame. Here we go. Okay, so you guys see that? I think it came out pretty good. You can kind of see the supports I got to move. But wow, the detail looks good. Looks really good. So I'm trying to just crackle a little bit off my fingers. It's actually coming off with very little effort. I'm not gonna say very little effort, some effort. So I'm gonna get a sharp tool here. Got my tweezers. We got this guy here. Careful not to poke myself.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of dig in here at the support area and just kind of lift that off. Let's see if it'll come off. Like so. There you go. So I just took a big chunk of it off. Big chunk of the... That's how supports should come off. That's how you hope for them to come off, chat. So we're gonna do the same here on the other arm. I'm just gonna dig in here at the base of it. So, pull that off. Okay, that came out pretty clean. I think the base, oh, we got some on the front here. So I'm just gonna pull that off of the name. Little strand there. I think there was something around the H, but I think I got it. Okay. And then there's that part there. That part there. And I think that, does that come off? Can't tell if that stays on. No, that stays on. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna chop this off a little bit. Got a little bit of some lines on the bottom, but I don't care about that. I could remove that with something later. I think I'm just gonna leave it for now. Underneath the arms here, you can kind of see like rough areas where the supports were. I can sand that a little bit to get it down, but I'm not gonna do it right now. But wow, supports are gone. That's pretty much it. All right, I'm gonna go to the other camera, the other room, and do some close-ups and glamour shots for you guys. But that went really well. The supports came right off. I don't think I need to change the settings much. Just put this back in here. Put this back in, the tweezers back in here. So the tools did good. They did good. Okay. So there's Hulk Boy. I'm gonna bring him in there now. After I put this all up. And I got to clean the plate too. I'm gonna do that before I go to bed. Okay, we got some excess filament here. I'm just gonna put over here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute this. All right. Glamour shots. We waited how long for what? Let's turn the lights up a little bit. That. Okay. Here's your boy. Check that out. Let me hide. You can see the name at the bottom here. Came out pretty good. Looks all smashed. There are the arms. Yeah, the supports. I think that was a good call to put the supports on. Yeah, this was as big as I can get it.
I didn't scale it down at all. This was as big as I can get it on my printer. The default was too big. They made it on an i3. He's got his name on it. They made it on an i3. And I have a mini. Yeah, the Gentleman's Gray is nice. And this was a, what, 5-hour print, right, chat? Pretty sure it was a 5-hour print. So yeah, put this up there with Mandalorian. These two are two peas in the pot, boy. 2 peas in the pot. Any plans to paint this? I don't know. I think it looks good as is. Because he's Hulk, right? I think it looks good as is. And I don't know. It's really well done though. I think this is a good model. Really, really good model. I don't have like a gray. Somebody asked about, I should have made it gray for Mr. Fix-It, but I don't have any gray. This is the only gray I have, is Gentleman's Gray. I gotta do some work. Thanks for the cast. Want to have a good day. All right, Paulson. Thanks for hanging out with us. So you guys who wait around, here's the finished result. It was the supports were easy to take off. Like I didn't struggle at all. They just popped right off. I almost could take them off with my hand, but I didn't. And once I just got underneath them, and they just fell right off. So I was happy. I was really happy to see that. Well, I can turn the lights down because I have the lights bright. Whoa, Lock with 5 more. Thank you, man, for the support. Chat, show some love if you haven't already. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Coming through with the gifted sub tonight. And he bought a printer.
Corner gifted a tier 1
Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you for making this great stream, man. Your support really helps. Really, really helps.
The _lock_nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Nairo09.
Alright, let me go 6%, see how this looks. This is my normal lighting here.
The _lock_nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Dinosaur Tim. The _lock_nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Fact D End.
What a pleasant surprise. I just got gifted sub at this hour.
The _lock_nar gifted a tier 1 sub to Bravo 9100.
Alright, I hope you get your screenshots or your clips or whatever. That's why I'm holding up this long, so you guys can really take a gander at it. I gotta go to bed before I order a printer. It's easy, man. You saw me do the whole thing. I download the file, told it to add supports, exported it, print. GG. All right, guys. Believe it or not, I'm streaming later today, in about 8 hours. And we're gonna print some more. Woo! Don't get me talking about Endgame again. I don't know how to shut up. Don't get me talking about comic books, I should say. Not comic books, but like DC and Marvel. I don't know how to shut up. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. Join our Discord. Join the community. Hook up with us on the socials. I really appreciate you all being here today. We had a great turnout. We're out here a long time. We streamed for 14 hours. Mission don't think this is a good thing. This is a bad thing. We'll be back. We're back tomorrow. On the agenda, I wanted to play Final Fantasy 14 today, so we might squeeze that in tomorrow after we do Elite Dangerous. We're gonna do Alpha 2 some more in the beginning of the stream, and then print while we're streaming. And I wanted to do Final Fantasy 14, so we might switch to that while we print. Thank you so much for being awesome. Again, thank you to Zenbender for giving me the $30 to buy the caliper. Thank Loyal Moses, Lochner, a bunch of people gifted subs today. Craig Allen, thanks for all the tips today, guys. All the raids. And my voice is going, so I need to shut up soon. Thanks, Han, for the raid too. My wife bringing her community over. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all next time. All right. I'm trying to see if there's something I'm forgetting and there isn't. So I'm just get out of here. I thank you guys for putting up with my MCU, DCU, DCEU rants. I have strong opinions when it comes to comics because it influenced a lot of my childhood. So I'll be the first to tell you if I don't like something about it. But thanks for coming by. Thanks for joining us. I had a lot of fun. These streams this is where I'm at my best. When I just sit here and talk. It sounds easy, but it ain't. But this is where I'm at my best. But I'll see you guys later, alright? Take care of yourselves. Be good to one another. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Eat more chicken. And Rosebud. What? See you later.